Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover coming back with another Bitcoin analysis video for y'all this evening. Could Bitcoin be pumping any higher than it is right now? We're going to dive on into the charts, take a look and see what might be going on. See if we can get a kind of an estimate of maybe if Bitcoin is planning to pump up higher from here, or could we be seeing that topping out pattern? So I know we were being a little bit bearish in previous videos, but at the same time, we also talked about a different symmetrical triangle on the higher time frames that could be forming. And we're going to see if that might be in correlation with what's going on right now, and as we start to zoom out on the charts. So let's go ahead and get started, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If this is your first time here, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the videos. I'm doing a previous or a pre-recording for the weekend, but sometimes I like to do some live streams. If we get on some other platforms in the future, I'll go ahead and start doing some live streams too. So I'm actually going to be asking my Telegram group. So if you haven't joined our Telegram room yet, be sure to check out our Telegram room. I'm going to be setting some polls in there for altcoins that people want me to go over on the charts during the live streams, and also the previously recorded videos too as well. So we're going to be taking a look at a few different charts for today, and then kind of making our way into some of the higher time frames too as well on Bitcoin and other chart analysis too. So be sure to stick around, and if that sounds interesting, let's go ahead and get started here. So we are starting on the 15-minute time frame to start off with. It looks like our daily is about to close as of right now, which will reset our VWAP, and this will see what Bitcoin wants to do from here if we want to continue pumping. It does look like the bulls were in control for the last few hours of our daily candle here, and now we're just waiting to see what's going to happen after this reset. So let's go ahead and turn off Cipher SR and start to zoom out in these higher time frames. Money flow still looking a little choppy as of right now. Usually we would like to see a substantial green money flow or red money flow here, but things are still looking a little choppy on these lower time frames. It looks like we could be finding some potential bottom here as of right now. It looks like we are kind of forming somewhat of a nice little support trend line here, which would be our purple trend line. If we are to break below that, we could definitely probably take a short off of this if we wanted to. These are just scenarios that we are waiting for to set up to as well. But obviously, nothing on this channel is financial advice. You need to be doing your own research, doing your own TA analysis if you are wanting to trade off of these indications. So this would be probably a really good short setup here if you wanted to scalp this and then maybe take it to the downside there. I usually like to play off of the 15-minute time frame, maybe wait for a red dot there too as well. Guys, if y'all are interested in picking up Market Cipher, I do have links in the description box below that will link you over to the Market Cipher website in order to get our indicators that we have on our screen. So Market Cipher B, A, and SR are all in the Market Cipher package. So if y'all want to help support the channel, you can use the link in the description box below, or you can go straight to CryptoFace's YouTube channel too as well. But yeah, this is our main indicator package that we use on this channel. So hopefully y'all are enjoying the content. And let's take a look at the 45-minute time frame here. It looks like we are wanting to maybe find some support here pretty soon. This would probably give us another big green dot here, or possibly another touch on this trend line here too as well. So our trend lines did turn back on when I was redrawing a trend line here, but we can also see that we bursted through 10.5K and then we came back down to retest it. Now it looks like we're finding some overhead resistance as of right now. Money flow is looking pretty good here on our 45-minute. As we start to zoom out, we'll go into the 1 hour first and then make our way into the 90-minute time frame. Looks like we are seeing a little bit of a red dot here, but maybe some clip to the upside, possibly wanting to give us maybe a little bit of a Christmas tree pattern over the weekend. We'll kind of have to wait to see how that plays out. I wouldn't really be too concerned about some of these trend lines here, but as we start to zoom out, we'll really notice where these trend lines are lining up. We can see here one of our trend lines is lining up right at about the 11.1K area. So our loss topping out pattern there. It looks like we are having a little bit of some resistance as of right now, but if we are able to break through this, we could definitely be swinging further up to the upside. So this might be a nice little trend line area for you to draw out on your charts as well, if y'all are interested in kind of taking the same trade ideas off of the YouTube videos as well. So thanks for, let's go into the 2 hour. Looking at the 2 hour here too. We are in a little bit of an upwards ascending channel as of right now. So we're getting some support on these upper trend lines, or some resistance on the upper trend lines, and then maybe some support down here on these lower yellow trend lines as well too. But we're gonna have to wait to see how this channel wants to play out, if we are going to maybe come back up and retest this top part at about 11.3K. And we'll see some of these trend lines start to form on these higher time frames too as well. Money flows look like it's wanting to head back into the greenish area, but we could still get rejected here, and to head back a little bit lower would not be out of the ordinary whatsoever. Looking at the 2 hour, looks like we are about to maybe cross bullish here. So if we can find support above our EMAs, then we could be expecting a bounce off of the 21 EMA, which is our orange orange EMA line here too. So we could expect a bounce probably off of the 10.6 area, if anything, if we come back down to retest that. But it does look like Bitcoin has been kind of holding steady above the 21 EMA whenever it bounces above it. So just a heads up there, that we could be wanting to maybe push back a little bit higher for the most part, maybe over the weekend. Let's go on into our 4 hour time frame. And before we get started there, I do want to let everyone know that we do have our Path to Cryptocurrency course that is available if you are brand new getting started inside of the cryptocurrency space. I would definitely recommend that you take a course. Feel free to sign up for mine if you'd like to. We are running an early bird special as of right now. You will get access to a private category on the Discord server as well too once you join. And then from there, we're updating our modules consistently, given the DeFi projects that are being released, talking about each coin that is getting released, whether or not maybe you might be interested in some of these reviews or not. But you can find all those different modules inside of the Path to Cryptocurrency course. So definitely check it out. Links in the description box below. And then we also have our private trading group page too, if you are interested in joining in our 35% off special that is going on right now. Spots are filling up, so we have 6 spots, or maybe only 5 now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. So only 5 spots remaining as of right now in our Path to Cryptocurrency, or in the Patreon paid private membership area too as well. So if you want to join that, find the links in the description box below, and you can go ahead and get signed up. You'll have access to our private category on our Discord server, which we show all our ins and outs of the market, and we also talk about what altcoins we are getting into here lately, especially with the DeFi projects that are getting released, and I'll let you know what coins I'm dollar cost averaging into as of right now. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here, we did break through some nice resistance here, but we'll have to wait to see if we want to continue pushing up here or not. It does look like our money flow is kind of rounding off here on the 4 hour. So with the 4 hour money flow kind of rounding off, I would expect probably some still some overhead resistance for right now, moving on into the weekend. Let's go on into the 6 hour here. 6 hour momentum wave still kind of pushing to the upside here. This is definitely a key time frame that you should probably keep an eye out on too. If we are to break above this trend line right at about the 10.8 area, then I'm definitely probably considering a push all the way up to 11.3, this next trend line right at about the 11.3 area or so, if we are to push above this trend line at 10.8. So definitely a trend line you can start to draw out on your own, but we've already gotten 2 touches here, and we could be expecting the 3rd touch to send us back through and break that resistance above head. So something to keep a note out on there. Or we find resistance above here and we get rejected, and then we start to form somewhat of a symmetrical triangle. So let's take a look at our 8 hour. Our 8 hour is probably going to give us a little bit more oversight of what might be going on here. So if we start to zoom out here, we can get one of our trend lines that leads us all the way back to our consolidation right underneath that 9K area. And this is the time frame that I'm really keeping a close eye on, because it looks like we are kind of forming somewhat of a symmetrical triangle here. We have our yellow trend line down here, but you can see that was a purple trend line that I have an alert set for too. If we break bearish below that, then we could definitely see some lower prices. But we do have some overhead resistance right now, and I think that this will be our symmetrical triangle that will be formed probably over the weekend going on into next week. And we could probably see a trend line break maybe around the 28th of September. So going on into the end of the month, we're definitely going to see a break out either to the upside or downside, and then maybe play off of that too. So you could draw these trend lines out on your 8-hour chart if you'd like to as well. We use the Bitstamp chart over here, and then let's go on into our 12-hour time frame, see what's happening here. 12-hour time frame, can we find any big trend lines here? Not anything that's relevantly close to our price action that's happening right now. So I will be definitely keeping a close eye on that 8-hour time frame and seeing how that symmetrical triangle wants to form out from there. Let's go on into the 21-hour and see what might be happening on these higher time frames. It does look like we could be getting some rejection with our VWAP kind of clipping down to the bottom side. Money flow on our 21 hours also looking a little bleak right now too. So if we are starting to clip back into that reddish money flow, that could end up being quite a bit bearish for us for the most part. Looks like we are finding support down here with the purple trend line that has been retested a couple of times, but we'll have to wait to see how this wants to play out, and just to see if whether or not we're going to break below that. But the daily time frame is definitely going to be a key resistance area for us at this bottom of this trend line here, sitting right at about the 10-1 area or so. If we do break below that, then I would expect us to maybe come back down a little bit lower. Money flow is also kind of rounding off here, but it's still consistent. It does look like it did make a little bit of a lower low here. Possibly maybe wanting to find a little bit more of a bounce, and then maybe end up falling after that. We'll have to see how this wants to play out going on into our 2-day time frame. It looks like we are starting to see possibly a little bit of a trigger wave form here for us to maybe send us up a little bit higher. We'll really just have to wait to see how these markets want to play out. Money flow is still looking pretty thin here too. So if we do get some price action, I would expect pretty high volatility for the most part moving on into next month too as well. Guys, y'all can join our Discord server and come in there and chat with us a little bit if you'd like. So feel free to join our Discord server. Obviously, in order to access the private categories, you have to pay for the Patreon membership in order to join the trading group part. And then also we have our Path to Cryptocurrency course section in there too as well. So if you are to join the course, you'll have private access to those categories on our Discord server. And then obviously I am doing votes on the Telegram channel, so make sure you come over there so that way y'all can pick what altcoins you want me to go over on the live streams whenever we do those, and we'll talk about them then. But other than that, let's go ahead and come back to the charts here really quick and finish on out looking at the 3-day chart. Let's go on into that. Nothing really major to take note of, although we are starting to see these Christmas tree patterns kind of play out here, and these are what give us a little bit of uncertainty in the market as of right now. So we'll have to wait to see how this wants to play out. If we start to see this sell-off here, and it does kind of look like our VWAP doesn't want to clip back to the upside just yet, we could expect probably a little bit lower of a momentum wave to come down, possibly maybe a little bit of a bear trap that wants to play out. But we're really going to keep an eye on those time frames such as the 8-hour and the daily, where we have major trend lines there for us on these higher time frames, which obviously the higher you get in your charting time charts, they have a little bit more of a substantial precedence over the lower time frames too as well, right? But obviously the lower time frames are something that maybe you could possibly front run on the higher time frames. That's also a possibility as well too. It looks like we are finding support here above our 21 EMA, still on the 4-day. But other than that, we've kind of dipped below the 21 EMA, and we could be expecting a cross here relatively soon on some of those like the daily time frames with the 21 and the 100 EMA. Things are still kind of selling off here just a tad bit, even on the 5-day. If we go into our 6-day chart, things are also kind of rounding off still just a tad bit. No sign of just a clear bullish trajectory, but it could turn around on us. I'm still expecting us to finish out the symmetrical triangle here on the 8-hour, and this is just something that we can kind of take a note of to see if we break or what direction we're going to break from here once we get closer into the symmetrical triangle. But yeah, that's just a heads up for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar index and see exactly how this is going to. So we're going to go to our fiat, and then we're going to go to the DXY. Taking a look at the DXY here, we did have this nice little rally to the upside with the DXY. But the fact that these markets are closed right now, we're just going to have to wait to see how this wants to play out here. These are our candle charts here. Let's go back to our Heikinashis. So we'll go back into the Heikinashis here. But, it does look like we are starting to see a little bit more of a bullish run up here with the dollar. So that could give Bitcoin the chance to kind of sell off to a tad bit, maybe going on into the rest of the week. People wanting to probably take their profits out of the stock market too as well, and then move back into the dollar, giving the dollar a little bit of power. Then also we really haven't heard anything about a second stimulus either, a second stimulus package. So with that also into consideration, I think that this obviously gives the dollar a little bit stronger of a move, because there's not as much money being printed, right? So if we don't have that next stimulus package, then we could see the valuation of the dollar start to head to the upside even more. Let's take a look here at our daily. It does look like we are coming in contact with the 100 EMA, and then our money flow is kind of rounding off here to the top side. That's just something to take note of. But as we start to zoom out even here on the dollar, we'll notice that our money flow is starting to still move quite a bit to the downside as we start to get into our weekly time frame. So this is probably going to give us a last opportunity to maybe buy up some more of your favorite altcoins and Bitcoins too as well, going on into the next time we have a substantial run up too as well, and just giving us a little bit more margin of error before we can really consider ourselves to push up from here. Looking at the 2-week time frame, we're also starting to see the money flow kind of round off just a tad bit here. Last time was in 2017. This was our last bull market run in BTC. We had a pretty big sell-off here. We had a little bit of a spike, and then another big sell-off after that too as well, going on into 2018. So we could have a nice little rally here and then see further downside. That is a firm possibility. It's something that we need to be ready for. And going on into the 21 day is also having us a little bit nice of a rounded off money flow. It looks like we are coming back up to retest our previous support line here. If we get rejected there, then we'll probably end up coming back down even further. Going on into our 5-day chart, I did want to take a look here just to see. Last time we had a bearish cross with our 21 and our 100 on our 5-day. Yeah, it does lead to a little bit of a sell-off. Then we had a little bit of a bounce back up to the 100, somewhere right in between, maybe around the 50 EMA, and then we get rejected again. So that could possibly play out. We'll have to see how this wants to happen, but it does kind of look like we are having a little bit of a rally here within the dollar, which would definitely lead to possibly BTC wanting to kind of make its way further down. And then if we see the dollar start to sell off, then that'll give Bitcoin a chance to run back up to the top side too as well. And then let's take a look at the S&P just for kicks and giggles real quick. So going on into traditional markets, let's take a look at the S&P and see what's going on there. But folks, I did want to let y'all know that we are using TradingView. We use the premium plan. If y'all do want to upgrade, I have an affiliate link in the description box below. If you are using Market Cipher, I would at least recommend that you have the Pro or the Pro Plus plan, so that way you can add a few more indicators on the screen. As you can see, I have the Aldo EMA indicators, which is a custom indicator, uses a custom Pine script code I give you directly inside of the Patreon page. And then also we reference the buy and sell signals with our whales buy and sell signals here. If you would like to learn how we set that up, that is also located inside of the Patreon membership. And then if you are interested in picking up a Ledger, I think Ledger is running a few specials right now too as well. If y'all want to go use the link in the description box below, I would highly appreciate that. And then obviously a few leverage trading sites. If you are interested in learning how to leverage trade, you can check out Bybit, Prime XBT, or you can check out FIMX. All great platforms, but definitely use your proper risk management and make sure that you are doing your due diligence in the market. Then also, we use the Brave browser on the channel. I love the Brave browser. I use it just to collect passive income by clicking on ads in the bottom right-hand corner. If you want to, or are you interested in making some passive income inside of the crypto space, check out the Brave browser. And then also, CryptoTab browser is a lightweight browser that allows you to mine BTC straight from your web browser. So I have this running on 2 other computers that I don't really use anymore. It's just running in the background as a process to mine BTC for me. So if y'all don't want to have to worry about setting up ASIC miners or ANT miners, y'all can come over here and use the CryptoTab browser to start mining Bitcoin straight from your computer. Then also add us on Instagram and Twitter. If you're interested in that, you can follow us there. Going back into the charts, we're going to look at the S&P 500, and then we're going to call it a day. So looking at the S&P here on the daily, let's go from there. We're going to start with the daily and then make our way from there. So it does look like we are having a little bit of a bounce here with the S&P. This daily chart here does look relatively bullish for right now. Referencing, I did want to maybe come back and reference what BTC was doing here on the daily too as well. That's taking a look at the dollar. Let's go on into Bitcoin here and see what Bitcoin was doing on the daily. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't remember putting a... Oh, this must be... Okay. It's all good. Okay, so whenever we open up a second page like that, I guess it saves everything from our previous drawn out lines that we had too as well. So our dailies are looking pretty similar as far as Cipher B is concerned. If we see a bounce here on the S&P, then we're probably going to be expecting another push to the upside on the daily chart with Bitcoin too as well. It does look like we are having a little bit of a doji here, maybe coming back up to retest the 21 EMA here at about 3,300. But then we could see a rejection from there and start to see somewhat of an EMA squeeze, and then we could possibly get rejected and head further down to the downside. That is a possibility. Looking at the 2-day here, it does look like we are still trying to send this a little bit lower on the 2-day as well. Looking like we found some major resistance. Or that we broke through some support levels actually based on our trend line breaks here with our purple triangles to the downside as well. So the S&P still looks like it wants to probably sell off a little bit more going on into these higher time frames too as well. The election day here is our line in blue. So we could see a sell-off until the election occurs, and then maybe around the election time we start to move back the other way, depending on how that turns out. So more or less, that's kind of what it's looking like based on the S&P correlated with the DXY. So if the dollar starts to, build itself in value, then we're also going to see the stock market maybe decline a little bit too. People taking profits, moving back into fiat as well. So that's a possibility all the way, maybe until even the election occurs. And then we could possibly, so this is going to give us a pretty good opportunity to kind of scoop some, stocks if you're interested, or some crypto up on the low before the election occurs, and then maybe waiting for a reversal around the election period time, or when that happens too as well, possibly going on into 2021. But this is just an overhead view. I do kind of like referencing other charts when I'm doing our live videos too as well. So hopefully y'all found this interesting. I didn't mean to keep y'all around for too long. But other than that, stay safe out there, everyone. Use proper risk management. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, join our Patreon page if you are interested. We are running the 35% off special. I only have 5 more spots left in that group if y'all want to join for that price. And then without further ado, I'll see y'all on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.